Outside, dad, hands to his son, gets it back, two-man game, James.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen! Let's go home!
Here's LeBron, kick, Bronny. And now Bronny James will head to the bench for LA.
Help us make every wish come true.
When it comes to LeBron-Bronny experience, it's one of the least noteworthy, supposedly important moments I've ever witnessed in sports. And what I compare it to is a big budget movie that has all this money behind it, hype, anticipation, the critics, media building it up. Then you go watch the movie, there's no substance, no plot, and it's just nothing to it. That's kind of the LeBron-Bronny experience. It's all media manufactured, and the actual movie, the actual play on the court, there's no substance and nothing to it.
I think I'd like my money back.
And one thing I keep hearing time and time again is that this so-called moment was so important, so historic, it was groundbreaking. Some people in the media actually on the verge of tears.
So when I was watching that, literally a visceral emotional reaction overtook my body because what we were witnessing wasn't just historic. What we were witnessing was greatness. Are you crying?
Obviously, those people mentally unstable, but besides that, a quote-unquote moment, it should be special, genuine, and not manufactured. The LeBron-Bronny thing was an absolute charade and a mockery of the game. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Bronny James is the first Make-A-Wish NBA player in the league's history. If that's historic monumental, so be it. But Bronny James, the player, the spectacle he is, I just can't stand it. And look at how LA treated him. This guy, 3 minutes in the game, did absolutely nothing, bricked a three, then told to sit down, go to the side, you're back in the G League. I mean, is that a moment, or is that just something being forced manufactured and pushed on the public?
I'm looking forward to watching that history because it not only says a lot about LeBron, I mean Bronny, but it says so much about LeBron and his longevity.
Because they knew that the Lakers had the 55th pick and that LeBron James was going to make sure that the Lakers grabbed him. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron has earned this.
I like to let people talk who like to talk. It makes it easier to find out how full of shit they are.
For people like Stephen A. Smith and Kenny, they're more comfortable lying to your face, not rocking the boat, rather than telling the truth, having some integrity, and just telling it how it is. And it is pretty funny, Stephen A. Smith and Kenny defending Bronny and LeBron. Even then, the veil slips ever so slightly, as they know deep down this moment wasn't about Bronny in the slightest. Who it was about was LeBron James. And let's place our bets right now. Who's the first LeBron defender that's going to use Bronny in the GOAT debate? Is it going to be Nick Wright, Shannon Sharpe, Kendrick Perkins? Take your pick. LeBron played with his kid, Michael Jordan, never did that, didn't have that longevity. That talking point, I guarantee you, will be a go-to for the next 3 years. And looking back at the so-called special moment, I mean, this moment, it's so carefully orchestrated, highly manipulated, and it's just downright manufactured.
Here's LeBron, kick, Bronny, can't hit the three.
Oh no. Anyway, last week...
It's like taking some random high school player, vaulting him to the NBA, teams don't play any defense on him, takes all the shots, and he breaks Wilt's all-time scoring record. Yes, technically he has the record, it was a historic game. But the defense, they let him score, played all the minutes, took all the shots. Again, has the record, but it wasn't genuine, it was manufactured, and just downright phony. And one guy in all this madness I lost a lot of respect for was actually Magic Johnson. And of course Magic, Hall of Fame point guard, best point guard ever. But this take right here saying Bronny James is on the path of Austin Reeves, Alex Caruso, that right there is utter nonsense. First off, Austin Reeves, Caruso, their journey to the NBA, they played 4 or 5 years in college, and in college, earned everything they got. Caruso was a 4-year player who by his senior year was all conference, all defensive. Austin Reeves played a whopping 5 years in college, freshman year, 4 points per game, transfer, went to Oklahoma, all conference, a great player, then an NBA player. Those guys' journeys to the NBA completely different than Bronny James, and actually the polar opposite. Bronny James, much like Austin Reeves, 4 points per game in college. But unlike Austin, didn't play 4 more years in college and went right to the NBA. That right there, that's the biggest problem. Bronny James skipped not 1, not 2, but 3, 4, and 5 steps to be an NBA player. And I gotta mention this 1 second. Bronny James in the preseason, he had 1 game which scored 17 points on 17 shots.
I'm sorry, Major. What was your name? Benny. Nobody cares.
This game, the Lakers, they lost by 50. I mean, have some shame. That right there, that was stat padding on steroids. As Bronny in this game played nearly every minute in the second half, put up garbage layups, garbage dunks, that in the grand scheme of things don't really matter. And despite Bronny's explosion 17 points, for the entire preseason, had the 3rd worst plus minus out of the entire league, 568 of 570. Points per game ranked 403rd. 3-point shooting of players who at least 2 threes per game ranked dead last, 308. And field goal percentage, 245th among qualifiers. Bronny James quite literally is one of the worst offensive players and just players in general in the entire NBA.
You suck.
And for actual Lakers fans out there, not LeBron fans, Lakers fans 2019 onwards, actual Lakers fans, watching this happen to your franchise has to be tough. The Lakers, you think of West, Wilt, Baylor, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, so on, the greats, the legends, the Lakers franchise on a pedestal as the greatest. Now what do you think of it as? The footstool for LeBron James and his son. I mean, that right there, that's a fall from grace. We're not talking Orlando Magic, Charlotte Hornets, Brooklyn Nets, the low-tier NBA franchises. We're talking LA Lakers, the cream of the crop, allowing this garbage.
I don't know you anymore.
For someone like Jeannie Buss to allow this on her watch, it's downright disgraceful. The Lakers, in essence, are a prop for LeBron James, his brand, his son, as well as his legacy. Everything I'm saying right now, all you guys watching this, you already know this. It's out there in the open, everyone can see it, it's happening in real time, it's plainly obvious to anyone paying attention with a tiny bit of critical thinking. And that's what's so frustrating. A lot of these media outlets, they kind of just take the temperature of the room, look around, and say the PC thing, the acceptable thing. Not the truth, the cold hard truth, and what actual players don't want to hear. And one more layer to this is also Rich Paul, Clutch Sports, that entire entity. Rich Paul will tell you the straight face, LeBron James has no input on the roster, the coaches, management, has no input in any of that.
His passion for winning is second to none. And I think the toughest part about it is he gets this, oh, he's controlling the team.
I'm telling you, these people, they think you're dumb, they think you're stupid, and have a memory of a squirrel. For these guys, what they said 5 months ago, 5 weeks ago, even 5 days ago, does not matter. The only thing that matters is the current narrative, the narrative in the moment. Beyond that, nothing matters. The current narrative must be pushed, held up, at all costs. So that right there is the end of the video, and to just recap very quickly, LeBron James, the guy who isn't calling the shots in LA, isn't pulling the strings, first off, has JJ Redick, his podcast buddy, as his coach. Then Bronny James forced LA to draft him, forced him to play him in Game 1. But you know LeBron not pulling any strings, calling any shots for the LA Lakers. That's all conspiracy, conjecture, we're seeing things. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.